Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the channel. And it's been a relatively light week for me for comics, but I've got a fair amount to talk to you about. So let's get started. So we have Guardians of the Galaxy. This is issue 6, and it's the end of the run, or end of the story arc. Really good issue, really strong finish to that arc. It's been a great arc overall, really. You know, who has Thanos' consciousness transferred over to their body, and the new Guardians have to find out who. It's been a thoroughly good ride, and Donny Cates is really showing how good he is at this sort of cosmic aspect of Marvel. One issue there is for me is the way they handled Cosmic Ghost Rider. Being one of my favourites, it was a bit of a shame for him to be transported straight to hell, and he's now going to be in the Avengers next issue, I think issue 21 or 22. That'd be interesting to see, but I kind of want him to stay in the Guardians, but that's a small niggle that I've got with that. Next we have Boys Volume 2. So I caught up with this, I caught up with the second arc. I want to say second arc, but it's not quite. It's the conclusion of the first arc, and then the second arc where they go to Russia, meet a Russian superhero. Really fun, really enjoyable. Develops the characters a little bit more. Huey, the Simon Pegg lookalike, is getting some really good character moments. It's a couple of issues for me. Main issue really would be the artwork. The artwork, you've got to know the artwork over the first 12 issues. It's quite harsh. It's quite realistic. But then when it comes to issue 13, they swap it up and they get a new new artist in. Not too sure why. There must have been something going on at the time, and this new art is it's a bit too clean cut. It's a bit more rounded. It kind of reminds me of Steve Dillon's run on The Punisher. Amazing art, lovely artwork, but the sudden shift in tone, it kind of just took me out of the book a little bit, and it's a shame. When reading it, back to back, it's really nice to get that consistency when it comes to the artist. I'm sure reading it month to month when it came out, it probably wasn't too much of an issue, but that was a definite bit of a throw for me, which was a shame, but still very well written, incredibly amounts of fun, incredibly violent, and I'm really enjoying this, and I'm going to keep on going with it. That's it in terms of the comics, but this week has seen the release of Captain Marvel. So this is the collector's edition that I bought because I love my special edition stuff, so I really do. So within that, you've got the steelbook there. Then you get this nice little box which has some cool badges inside it and some art cards, which I do quite like. So overall, I mean, in terms of the price, probably not worth what I paid for it, if I'm going to be completely honest, for the content itself. In terms of the movie, very disappointing. I saw it at the cinema, gave it another go the other night when I received it, and the shame is it starts quite well. You start off with a character who's not sure of herself in terms of where she's come from, in terms of her backstory. She's very confident in herself in terms of her powers, in terms of where she fits within the Kree, and that I quite like. I don't mind that. You had things like Thor, incredibly arrogant to start the film, and he learns humility quite quickly, and then he develops into a very well-rounded character. This, you don't see that. It's very much starts off powerful and arrogant, continues to be powerful and arrogant. Her arrogance gets her captured, but it's fine because she's powerful enough to escape. And there's never a sense of doom. There's never a sense of things are too much for her. There's never even a sense of character development. And it's that for me is the biggest problem. And it seems as though the writers don't have a grasp of not just Captain Marvel, but a grasp of the MCU. When you have Nicholas Fury, played by Samuel Jackson, saying things like, "No one calls me Nicholas, everyone just calls me Fury." Now this is the 22nd film in the MCU. We've had references to him being called Nick. So it's... Now I do realise this is a prequel of sorts to all of that. It's set in the 90s, but there's a certain amount of consistency. I mean, he says about he doesn't eat toast if it's cut diagonally, but again, we've seen that within the MCU. And there just seems to be character moments that are just kind of flaws. They're not particularly well thought out, not within the grasp of the MCU. And it seems to be very, very, very fast and loose with the continuity. In Thor, we got Fury saying... Sorry, was it Thor? No, it was the Avengers. We had Fury saying that him devising this whole Avengers initiative was down to Thor. He had no idea that we weren't alone within the universe. How is that even possible when 10 years prior to that he'd met Captain Marvel and met these shape-shifting aliens? Did he forget? He can't have done because he was given the pager. It's a problem. It really is. It's not a particularly well written film. Nothing feels genuine about the character, any of the characters really. There's no real motivation for any of them, and for me, I'd say it's the biggest fail for the MCU. Definitely so far. It's without a doubt the weakest one of the lot of them. It was bound to happen. There was always going to be a dud in 23 movies or so. But it's a shame it comes at the hands of who is now the most powerful member of the MCU, and I really do hope that the writing for the next one is a bit stronger. I hope they give Carol a bit more of a character, because she was a shell in this one. She really was. We're told that she's a hero. We're told that she can overcome things. We don't see it. We need to see her doing these things. You can't just be told she's powerful. It's fine. I mean, you don't really see her full potential until the end of the film, which is fine. But to be told how much of a hero she is when she's not really done anything heroic is kind of disingenuous. But that probably making it sound a lot worse than it actually is. I know some people enjoyed it and made a lot of money at the cinemas. We will see how things go. Like I said, I'm really hoping that when the sequel does come out, there's a bit more of a balance and there's a bit more character development, and hopefully it'll be a better movie. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought of Captain Marvel or of comics that you've read this week. Let me know just down in the comments, and don't forget to share and subscribe. I think it's gonna be up there. And I'll see you next time.